Trey, four, 7-Eleven, the deuce, and the nine. Hoover Hay to the culture enthusiasts, to the Hoover Knights, to the Hoover Collective, and most certainly to the people, man. Here we are again, another day on the compound, 10 toes down, man. Like I say, man, to a lot of brothers, man, I'd rather be on this yard than the other one, So, here we are. It's been an eventful last 2 weeks for me and my family, man. We're fortunate, like I said, man, just to be alive, man, and that's a good look for, us, as a family, man. I wish the same for everybody else, man, that, you understand that, you're fortunate to be here, man. So let's take advantage of that. Let's make the best of it. That's what I should say. Man, what's going on with the people, man? It is what it is. Here I am. Been kind of missing the beat, man. Like I said, there's been a lot going on, but here we are. I'm back, man. I'm up and running again. There's a lot of stuff, on the burner, on the oven, on the stove, in the oven, on the stove, man. We're trying to get it together, man. I was thinking about some stuff I heard. Well, actually, I watched some stuff lately, and then I heard about it, then I watched it. All these brothers coming from out of state, man, and want to jump in these podcasts and all this stuff, and then brothers are coming. And, to some of us, man, they seem like the most awkward people, you want to meet, man, weird or whatever you want to call them, label them, man. But, the fact of the matter, they not from here. They not us. They don't jive or groove like LA groove, what I mean? Everybody got their own style, and I could dig that. But this brother in particular, man, I think he's a good brother. I listened to him, man. I think that this brother, 607 who I'm talking about, man, to speak, straight up. I think he's a good brother, but I don't think that he really understands the get down, here in LA. And that could be, it could be a detriment to him, I've been watching lately, man. Some of the most craftiest people been tapping in with him and trying to touch bases with him. Hey, man, stay with no jumper, this, then the third. I see it for what it is, man. I like to say to the brother, hey, man, we have a platform, homie. And there ain't nowhere in the world you can come in under the groove and be threatened by anybody. That's just what it is, homie. Let alone an enemigo. You come here, man, you be who you are. You know what I mean? Coming here, man, and sit down and share with the people, man, get out, man, who you are, how you are, why you like that, and what your ambitions are, man, what your plans are. Because you're down here, obviously you got something big. You coming down here, man, you got something on your plate you want to put in motion. You want to make happen, man. Come on, check this out. Check this shit out over here, man. And I guarantee you, man, we family here, homie. The Hoover community, man, is what the Hoover community is, That being said, man, hey, brother, I wish you the best, man. Watch who you're dealing with, man. Watch who you hanging around with. Watch who you contacting to get you on these spots and all that. If everybody ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't your family. Everybody ain't your friend. You know those songs, man. Again, that said, man, take care of yourself, bro. I left something in your DM, 607 Monk. I left something in your DM, my phone number, man. When you're available, when you think, I'm saying, it's a viable time for you to reach out, holler at me, man, do so. I look forward to the call, man. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And you'll hear that, in our discussion, how we chop it up, sit down together, man. That said, man, again, this internet thing is something wild. It's wild, man. It's embarrassing, to tell you the truth. For lack of a better term, it's embarrassing. And if these are all acts, man, dudes is selling themselves to act this way, be this way, man, there's something really going on, man, with social media that we got to sit down, take a step back from, dissect it, man, look at it, man, and understand it for what it is, man. Understand it for what it is. If you look at the main proprietor of these social media, no jumper, let's cut to the chase. I ain't about no half-assing, man. It is what it is. All the content, man, is detrimental, man. Ain't nothing positive about what this dude doing. Every dude he bring on that get out, man, he had brothers turning against each other, man, at the drop of a hat, at a word, at a perceived slight. and he's sitting there smiling, him and the other dude, and they're like, and they're egging that shit on, they're egging it on. But again, this man has a platform. He knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets him the hits, it gets him the subscriptions. So he got to keep that going. That machine has to keep running. So at every opportunity, he looked for those type of individuals that he can bring on this get down to, not necessarily jail with dudes he already had, but also collide. Also create friction, discrepancies and issues. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get him the clicks, man. But brothers don't understand the damage it does. Not just to the community as a whole watching it, because I'm gonna tell you this shit is detrimental to anybody who's willing to watch that shit over and over again. But to the individuals that's sitting on that platform, man, come on, man, you gotta want something better for yourself, man. I don't know if you sit down, whoever you are, and you know who you are, and watch yourselves, man. Hey, come on, man. You can't be proud of that shit. You can't be proud of that shit, man. It's some of the most ignorant shit I've seen, man. And I have to say that it's some of the most ignorant shit I've ever seen. You know, and I know ignorant. That is some ignorant shit. But 607 up, man. Like I say, give me a call. I'm in your DM, homie. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you want to do that, man, you think you might want to call me, man, just chop it up with me, homie. You don't owe me nothing. You're not obligated to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know you, homie, but my attempt is to get to know you, man. Let's sit down, have a discussion. That being said, man, I want to move on, man. I was trying to catch up with my boy OG Bam today, man. Because me and Bam, that's a righteous dude, man. And maybe last week you guys recall him talking about us being on the yard together, level 4. Me being a lifer, man, and just trying to sustain, keep myself safe so I get up out that joint, man. And the shit I did to keep myself occupied. I had fun, man. I knew everybody. Everybody knew me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have issues and shit. One or two to be quite honest, but nothing that transpired. Going to another place where I wouldn't be here now as a result of it. But Bam was a guy, man. I hit the yard. I mean, I see Bam Moon. Me to go there, man. We chop it up, man. I tell you, Bam, I'm finna go to basketball court, man. You know what I'm saying? We go shoot smooth on me. You know. And I go do my thing, man. We used to gamble and everything, man. But Bam is a brother, man. Like I said, man, when I see him, yeah, I would gravitate to him, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a righteous dude, man. Everything he talked about in my presence was solid, I've not heard the brother say one foul thing about nobody, Crip blood, whatever, you know, Crip and blood, blacks. He kept it above board. And so that's why I always respected Bam, man. And if I had something and Bam needed it or wanted it even, I give it to him. I give to him. And Bam just one of many that went from Hoover who I interacted with like that, who I have mad love and respect for. I call them my brothers. I don't care where they from. They know who they are, man. But yeah, Bam, man, I was trying to tap in with Bam a little while ago, man, because I just want to holler at him, see how he doing this shit. Like I say, he one of them dudes, man, on the yard, man, was a solid cat. Just all around solid cat, man. All around solid cat. So Bam, if you're listening, man, somebody got a line on Bam, hey, man, tell Bam I just spoke about it, man, out of love and respect, man. That's what it is. I got some, one of my G homies, man, Big Smiley from Salo. We were at the celebration of life passing for one of our homegirls, man, our home queen, Stacy Gilbert, man. Rest well, loved one. We love you. We will miss you. Everybody knew that's Auntie, big sis, big homegirl, home queen, man. She's gonna be missed. But during the celebration, hanging out with the homie Smiley, he gave me this book by one of the loved ones. He said it's a good read. I haven't started on it yet, but that's the name of it. West Side, West Side Baby, East Side Maybe. Stephen J. Simmons, man, the homeboy head, man. It's thick. It looks like it might be. I like thick books, man. When they thick like this, that means there's something in it. I'm gonna go through this in the next few days, but I'm putting this up there for those who are interested, man. This is the brother from Hoover. He wrote this book, man. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of positivity in this book. It's something you may be able to get from this book that'll help you or somebody that needs help. You can pass this on, man. You can pass this on. Might be something very, very, very fruitful in here for a few people. So get at a look, man. As far and just so y'all know, as far as Boo book, I did order the book. I got the book, man. I'll bring it. You know, this just happened to be in my truck. I forgot the book, but I got the book. I'll bring it on the next get down, which will be Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursdays, people. Tuesday and Thursdays when I'm gonna do the live stream. The Sunday thing, it kind of messed with the program. You know, that's our family day. You know, we cook dinner and shit. Everybody hang out, we chill, play music. You know, talk shit, have a drink or two, man. Young ones smoke they blunt, you know, they blunts and shit. You know, that's what we do at the house. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will be here, man, and just touching bases with the people, man. That's what I like to call it. That's what I like to do, man. Most of all, I see y'all in the month, y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate that, bro. Sell dope one agree. Salute, dog. Salute to you, G. Keita 7 times TV peace and Black Power Bub. Likewise, right? HIP Lady Stacy, man. Real shit. Sell dope one. That's from him, homie. What up, King Grove? 713. How you doing, bro? Like I say, man, for you who keep coming back, man, I appreciate it, man. I love seeing you guys in the chat, man. Um, if there's ever something you guys want to ask, that you know, like I said, let's keep it above board, respectful, man. We discuss. That's what this is for, man. You know, the topic could be whatever you choose it to be, long as it's respectful and it's not incriminating. You know what I mean? There ain't no bullshit. You know, um, like I said, I love doing this shit. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, homie. I'm not chasing no bag. You know, I've said this before. Um, our objective, man, is to get to a point where, you know, this ain't the only platform where we spitting, you know, just positivity. Or we talking about history. Or we talking about what's affecting the youth today. You know, the youngs who out there now. You know, or trying to find solutions and ideas to their issues. You know what I'm saying? To help them understand that got people that love them, care about them, want to see them do better than what we did. uh, when we get to that point where we got more than one, two, three, four, because there are other platforms. Don't get me wrong. Under the Groove is not the only platform in our culture that kick the positivity ain't with the funnies, man. You know, Coach Zoe, Big Bam, like I said, man, and a few others, man. You know, I appreciate them brothers and I look at them often. Um, we want to get to the point where, you know, when you tap in on YouTube, man, you're not seeing no funny shit, man. You know, you're not seeing that messy shit all the time. You know, and our hope is one day there won't be a space for that. Straight up, there won't be a space for that. You know, so let's see. You know, when that happens, let's see how dudes, you know, change suits. You know, let's see if they morph into something else. You know, but remember them. Remember them. Remember the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hoodwinked and bamboozled by these cats. I'm telling you, because I think, you know, these cats really think lepers can change their spots. You know what I mean? They really can't, you know. They really can't. What you see now on, you know, on social media in terms of what dudes are dropping, that's what it is. That's what it is. So in 6 months or a year, when eventually this shit will evolve, it's gonna evolve because all things do, man. Let's see what soup they, you know, put on in, you know. Let's see what they got to say then. Let's see what character they bring up, you know. Um, Especially, you know, when we're talking about the bag, when we're talking about dudes being thirsty and shit, and dudes sell their mama out, man. You know, and I just got to say that, man. And you know, take it how you want, but that's just what it is, man. When you look at that shit, man, just on the surface, man, it's some sellout shit. It's sellout shit, straight up. So that said, man, I'm gonna move on, man. One more thing though, when it comes to the get down, man, I talk to the community, man. And one thing I try to impart to the community as far as this get down go is that, man, look, I'm not in, I'm not want to be in that space where, you know, every time I'm bringing something in, I got another homie. We talking about somebody else, what they did, what they got, what they ain't got, man. Are they a punk? They a witch? Now that, you know, I ain't trying to do that, homie. You know, I just want people to understand that, man. At some point, man, this whole social media shit is gonna change, and when it does, man, we don't got to take no credit for it. We just want to be able to celebrate the fact that it changed, that brothers are starting to see the light. You know what I mean? That the bag won't be everything, the end all, the beat all. You know what I mean? We got to start looking out for each other, man. And, you know, just by the looks of it, the way shit is going on social media, that ain't the case. That is not the case. I was talking to the young homie, young Trig, man. And, you know, he told me flat out, he said, Bub, I ain't with the funny shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, there's something I shouldn't have done, and he take responsibility for that. You see me? But that's a wrap. I'm not with that. And I want to say to all our community, that ain't our space, homie. We're not trying to be in that space, homie. If other communities want to do that and expose and be at each other like that, man, let them have at it. But listen, homie, for us, Hoovers, the Hoover community, I don't care what state you from or nothing. That's not our space, homie. We don't do that. We don't do that, man. We don't get on social media and air our dirty laundry and be at one another, man. That ain't something we finna do, man. You know, that ain't something we finna do, man. So if you're thinking about it, man, don't think about it. Don't think about it, man. You know, there's all kind of content we could put out there, man, that's helpful, that's inspirational, that's positive, it's productive. You know, we ain't got to be on that bandwagon, and for the most part, a lot of us aren't, again, let's keep it that way. Let's keep that, especially I'm talking to especially the Hoover community. Let's keep it that way, you know. So that said, man, the comments, man, y'all up in here, I appreciate it, man. James Cash, what it do, man? Happy Saturday to you too, homie. Got up this morning, I was feeling good. I start working out again. I don't want to be, I don't. I just want to, get the form back. Be fit. Fit. I'm already a veggie, so it's a lot I don't eat to begin with. But I'm more concerned with my health now. I'm 60, man. I'll be 61 in August. And I think, man, just for me, my health is everything, man. Without it, man, ain't got nothing, man. I'll be doomed. So yeah, I'm back on that shit, man. Other than that, man, like I say, I appreciate every morning for me is a grand rising, bro. Anytime I can get up, man. One thing I know, man, when I wake up in the mornings, man, at the beginning of that get down that day, one thing I acknowledge first that I woke up, and I had to acknowledge by the same token, somebody didn't, you know. Once I swing my feet out that bed, man, and I 10 toes down, again, I have to recognize that I'm fortunate because somebody wasn't able to do what I just did. Once I stand up, man, and go and do what I do, man, go to work, I got a job and all that, I still acknowledge some people ain't as fortunate. So every day that I get up, it's a grand rising, homie. It's a grand rising, homie, and I take that shit seriously, literally, you know. Everybody ain't fortunate, Everybody ain't fortunate, man. Everybody ain't fortunate to have $1 million. Everybody ain't fortunate to have $1 million and keep it and make it grow. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of different aspects of this get out. But the one that strikes, true to me, the one that's most important to me is the fact that I'm able to wake up in the morning, get up, man, and greet my wife, man, greet my family, man, go about my day and then make it home at the end of the day, man. Don't nothing trump that. Don't nothing trump that. So, we got to start considering, man, how fortunate we are, man. How, and some of you guys say how blessed we are. I use the term every now and then too. But we have to recognize that we're blessed in a lot of ways, man, that we're fortunate, man. Beyond there's a spectrum of people, man, didn't get the opportunity to do a lot of what you're doing right now. That shit ended for them last night, early this morning, hour ago, whatever the case may be. So, take satisfaction in the fact that you're here, man, but to the point where you appreciate the fact that you're here, where you're doing something with yourself, something constructive. You're not bringing no bullshit to the game. You know what I mean? No, that's it, man. Again, man, I'm good, King Grove. I'm good, and I hope everybody else is too. That was for you, also, James Cash. Like I say, bro, most of you brothers, man, I'm getting used to y'all coming up in here, man, and we chop it up, man. I got to give y'all that, man. I appreciate that. But to those who are new or just coming in, come on in, man. This right here, this platform, what we're doing right now is just something I try to do weekly, and there's no particular content. The fact of the matter is you guys are on here getting down with me, man. That's the content. You can bring up a topic or issue. Let's discuss it like people, like civilized people. Let's be respectful, man. And let's bring some, thought provoking. Let's bring some worthwhile discussing. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I'll be the last one to bring y'all some shit where I got two heads on this platform and they going at each other. Somebody you gonna knock him out and he gonna do this and he fucked your witch and carrots and peanut butter and all. Yeah, come on, man. What kind of shit is that, man? You're not gonna get that here. All right. Now, enough said, man. The key to 7 times TV, I think it's a culture shock for 607. Yeah, for real though. For real though, the brother from St. Louis, this is a whole different beast, man. And we know that. But brothers coming from other locations, man, outside of the state of California, don't really get it. They don't really get it, until they get it. And it's a whole like, oh, whoa, whoa, hold on, gang, da 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 da. Hey, bro, you know, you got to know where you stepping, man. You got to know, man. You got to know the lingo. You got to know the swag. You got to know the whole thing, man, in order to survive this shit. Because some of the best still don't survive this shit, and they know it, or they thought they did. So it's a culture shock for bro, man. It's a culture shock for bro. Like I said, I want to tap in with the brother and just have a conversation with him. I want nothing from him. Have a conversation with him. I want to tell him, hey man, don't be no sucker. Don't be nobody's fool, man. I say that to any brother, whether you on social media or not. I see some weird shit. I'm gonna tell you, hey man, don't be nobody's fool, woman. Don't be no sucker, man. You know, and people take advantage of brothers, man, especially when they don't. Oh, he don't really know. That's common shit. That's common out here, man. And actually, anywhere you go, people see that you green, that you ain't, you ignorant, you don't know what you think you know. Fair game, So hopefully the brother get an understanding, man, real quick, man. Real quick, man. It turn out different, man. It won't be what you think. Be a hard road for real. BWFII say, and that's life. Real talk, big brother. Hey, man, real shit. We know what it is. Cleveland, what's up with it, bro? I looked for you the other day, man. I know you're busy, bro, but I was looking for you to hang out with you, man. Me and DuBoy kicked it for a little while, man. Hung out with the homie, man. I love that dude, man. But Cleveland Ross said, man, that dude Adam always trying to make the H look small, bro. Look, I think, here's the thing, man, and I'm it might sound biased, okay, but I'm from Hoover. It might sound biased, but Hoover done a lot of shit, man. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. A lot of Hoover done a lot of shit. A lot of shit been done to Hoover. Go both ways. But at some point, I think it was the 90s when other individuals outside of the set, man, they had some type of, I think a pact or whatever the case may be with other individuals. Say, man, we got to keep these brothers away from the get out. Not only that, but let's create a narrative about them. Let's make this narrative of such nature to where when people hear about them, they'll hate them automatically. They'll think they ain't no good. They scandalous. They can't fuck with them. They'll do you this, that, and the third. Most people who hate Hoover don't really understand Hoover. Adam 12 understands. See, Hoover's like a resource right now. You know what I mean? In terms of social media, we're a resource. We're a resource for social media. I say that because there's no other community that can be discussed and get the attention Hoovers get on social media. Dudes can say what they want. I'm gonna call the strike a strike, man, and the ball a ball. But Hoover bring in the clicks and the subscriptions. See, Adam 12 done figured out his play is this. Let me bring cats in and talk down on Hoover. I bring full Hoovers in and shit. Most of them might know what they talking about. Some don't, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna bring them in and I'm gonna play around with them when we want. And that's, when I get through with them, I'll backdoor them with somebody to come in there, damn them. Talk bad about the set, make the set look like we rooty pools. That's his game, man. I'm telling you, that's Adam 12 got the way he is, basically, to some large degree, talking about Hoovers. Bring controversy on his show, his platform about Hoover. Most brothers understand, ancestors understand his game. And take none of Hoovers. You can get any dude who's call himself an enemy, or op, or enemy, or whatever. to come on and he done built this following, he got this persona going. And as soon as Hoover come out of his mouth, the clicks go up. It's a fact, man. You know? So I think the only way to beat, and this to the community, homie, and I'm saying this, and I didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. The way to beat Adam 22, and it's for our community, don't fuck with him. For any homie that they sitting up, they're screening, they're trying to vet, to come on for $1,000 or whatever the case may be, man. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. One thing I was about to say is that you don't see no in-house conflict, controversy on none of these platforms with the set. We had a little minor, back and forth with a couple of homies, but that shit squashed. We not, that ain't what we do, homie. That ain't what we do. And I'm gonna tell you how to avoid this type of shit, man. Leave them type of people alone. That's when to bring you on, have you talking about some shit about a loved one in your own community. Rather than you finding that issue, that individual you got an issue with, and go and say, man, let's talk. That way. And where in the world, man, you supposed to bring your shit on social media? Come on, man. Come on, man. Homies ought to know better. Homies ought to know better. And if they don't now, you should now, because you've heard it. Don't do that type of shit. That ain't what we do, bro. If others want to do that, that's their prerogative. We have, certain guidelines, man. We stick to. I have to respect a lot of G homies. They stick to certain guidelines. Hey, bub, I like what you're doing, this, that, and the third, but I'm not gonna come on the show, homie, because that ain't how we get down. Gotta respect that. Gotta respect that. Now, mind you, I'm not telling you, hey man, come on and tell me how you was putting it down when you was coming up as a G. That I would never do that. You know what I mean? Like who you shot near. I had one individual come on, start fat mouth and shit. Like, come on, homie, knock that shit off. Don't do that on the show. But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of shit that Hoover don't do that others do. Let's leave it like that, man. Let's leave it like that, man. Let's stay out of that fray. Let's stay out of that fray. And I'm gonna tell you again, the only way to actually keep our distance from that shit is avoid people like Adam 22, to avoid people like street rap hood politics. That cat, I think he's the police too. Too something for YouTube. Too ghetto for YouTube. All this shit, man. All y'all got to really start doing is listening, man. It's all bullshit. It's messy shit. It's all shit. It's to create content, but to create mess so that they can have more content. So I'm, our request, and I'm speaking because I've spoken to Cass spoken to me about this. Hoovers, we need to steer clear from that shit. Straight up. We need to steer clear from that shit, man. And that's how we avoid, having to deal with the bullshit we see on social media. This is how we, give Adam 12 the finger. Stay away from it, man. But like you said, Cleveland, and that dude, yeah, he's always trying to make the H look small. I mean, he, like a lot of other people, they're convinced that, we ain't shit, we ain't no good. We can't be trusted. We can't be fucked with, I've said from jump, one thing about Hoovers, homie, we know how to go get it, and we get it right. We get in the game, man. It's locked. We gonna do what's supposed to be done with it. Let us in the door. Hey, not only are we gonna eat, but hey, for real, we gonna let those we fuck with eat too. That's just what it is. We not. That's just what it is, homie. Ain't nothing small about us, homie. We know. They know. He don't know. He ain't getting. He ain't getting the full scoop of this. Get down. But I agree with you though, Cleveland. I agree with you, bro. All right, man. Yeah, that's some real shit though. Akita 7-time TV said Adam 22 is the beast. He care less. That's the truth. He care less about our people. Man, I saw, like I said, just recently, let's say not even a month. I don't contribute. I don't watch this shit. You know what I mean? But I've had homies and loved ones come say, Bud, but you need to watch it just to understand what's going on, what's being said, to be abreast of whatever, that topic or whatever that trend or issue is. So, not lately, but every now and then I'll boom and I'll, look at some shit. So I caught some shit Adam 22. I mean, the dude believed the shit he's saying. He believed what he's selling. Trust me. At the end of his getting, he said, man, I'm just charging you $5 a month and you'll be the first to get this content. So he know what he pushing. He know what he pushing. But I'm thinking, like, damn, man, why motherfucker get motherfucking $5 for hear this bullshit? So that's culture, you know. This is what he's trying to make the culture, into. This it ain't just him. He didn't start this. You know what I mean? That's like they saying Trump started racism. No, no, no. It should been, been there, been in existence. Trump just started. He just pushed it to whatever extent he can push it. M22 is no different. He didn't start this messy shit, you know what I mean? But he pushed it to the extent he can push it. Because like I said, it's content for him. It's content for him, especially if he got a network of individuals subscribing to him, let's say 250,000 people, and 100,000 of them is giving him $5 a month for this content this shit, man. Come on. That's what he gonna do. That's what he gonna do, man. It's easy shit, man, to get on this thing, man, and start talking about some shit I ain't got no business talking about. I bet you at the end of the episode, man, I'll be viral. 40, 50,000 clicks. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking about another homie or what I did to somebody, how I ended up in prison doing a life sentence and all this old shit. Oh, man, it ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. Anthony Tibbs, the most ignorant shit ever. It's just like the gorillas talking land. Just like the gorillas talking land, acting like homies in the community. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, man. I don't know if you're referring to that AI shit with this gorilla dude, and he got the H hat on. He got all different sets, but he dissing other sets as he doing this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And he got certain dudes in the back seat. I don't know who these dudes are, but we finna go boom, 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 whatever. And I mean all sets, not just Hoover. He like, come on, man, who is this? Who would do this? But that's part of this get down. And I know dudes from these sets seeing that shit. Oh yeah, yo, that shit, nah, homie, that ain't the shit, homie. That's more of a trap. That's more of a trap, man. Rashawn, what's up with Woody? What up, homie? Okay, he the puppet master, bro. That's how you keep the plantation going, keep the ninjas fighting. Willie Lynch syndrome, bro. We got to deactivate that MF, bro. I'm saying, homie. I'm saying, man. The shit is crazy. The shit is crazy. I swear, man, I don't get no kick out of looking at none of that shit. And it pisses me off when I look at it. I'm like, what the fuck? Especially brothers that sit down with him and just buffoons. Just some buffoonery, man. It's buffoonery. Frivol and buffoonery, homie. And I'm telling you, this shit is sad, man. It's sad. It's embarrassing and sad. But that's what he doing. Puppet master, man. He got cats acting the way they acting, man. Man. Yes, I don't know about 99 Hoover being the new set. Like I said, man, I was just kicking it with some youngs this morning, and that didn't come up. Well, because I didn't bring it up, one. But just talking about this daily shit, man, that wasn't mentioned in our conversation this morning, man. I just hung out with the young ones, I like to, when I catch up with them, hey, man, what's happening? How y'all doing? Don't know what you're up to, we chop it up, but that wasn't that wasn't part of the discussion, and it didn't come up. So I can't tell you, whether or not that's true. I probably let on hit a couple of homies and shit who may know. I think I mentioned it to one of the homies, and he's like, oh man, I ain't heard no shit like that, so. But I'll double back and see what he says, see if he heard anything, new, or if anything actually exists as a result of what you asking me. If that 99 Hoover, is a new thing, he'll know. He or he should by now. I'll let you know though, Mr. Vic. So he said, "Line, can we get some A-Tray gangsters up here like Mad Bone, Slowpoke, and Lil Spike? Lil Spike, the homie, man, Slowpoke, man, and Mad Bone. Her Mad Bone, just talking about Mad Bone ain't doing too well right now, man. I grew up with Mad Bone. Me and Lil Spike go way back. Juvenile halls, man, YA and shit, last time I saw Spike, I think shit I called Spike last month, Um, you know, that's something, I talked to Lil Spike about that. And Lil Spike said, "Bud, no, I ain't gonna do that, you know. And I gotta respect Lil Spike G Cat, man. He stick to the script too, man, in a lot of ways, man. He do what he do. I haven't spoken to Mad Bone about it or Slowpoke, you know what I mean? But Lil Spike, like I said, I already know, man. Like I said, I can kick it with him and we talk, that's not something he say he want to do. So you gotta, I gotta respect that. I respect that. Cleveland, what's up, homie? Yeah, the homie Hoover Heads book, man. You gotta have it. I'm gonna put that up again. West Side Baby, East Side Maybe, man. This book is by the homie, man, Stephen L. Simmons. That's the homie head from Salo, man. Like I said, it's a fat book. It looks like it's gonna be a good read. And again, I appreciate the OG homie Smiley for giving me this book, man. And that's one of the loved ones, man. I respect, man. Love him. Solid brother. And it's just conversation about a lot of shit, man. It clicks with me, man. Yeah. I respect him, man, a whole lot, man. Again, though, Smiley, thanks for the book, man. And when I see you again, I'll be able to tell you about it, man. All right. Yeah. Kenny Harris said, "Thanks, man." Thank you, Kenny. Thanks for what though, bro? Musa 49. What's happening, bub? Can we see a faux tray interview? Can we see a faux tray interview? Good work though. What faux tray? Okay. I don't know if y'all know Sinbad, faux tray, original from the East Side, man. Faux tray gangsters. We're gonna sit down Sunday, not tomorrow, Sunday, next Sunday. That's in the schedule. We're gonna chop it up, man. He'll be here. As far as any faux tray hoofs, I talked to the homies again. A lot of faux trays I know are old heads. They older than me. Stump down cats. Solid, man. And they on some more shit right now, man. They done all this. They not trying to do this no more. A lot of them want to be just left alone. They don't need to be seen. They don't need to be heard. You know what I mean? And that's their take on it. So I'm just repeating what was said to me. And I get to, and like I say, a lot of G homies. I talk to them all the time, man. Man, we love you, love what you're doing, but not gonna do that. And I get some say, well, I'm still thinking about it. You know what I mean? But the faux trades, as far as faux trades go, and one I could either, boy, talk your ears off. My boy Nate, man, Joe the Boss, bad cat. He already told me, and the way he talk, he talk. He say what he mean what he say. He said, "Nah, now and this is something to me. There are a few brothers, man, that I know, and that know me, and I tell me, man, when we talking, just don't use that word on me, homie. I don't get down like that, But so I'm gonna name them. Joe the Boss is one. My brother-in-law Droopy, Frog, and the homie Pocket, rest in peace. No man, how many times I tell him how mad I get. This just, man, come on, man, fuck that shit, Ninja. Come on, man, come on, bub me up. Yeah. But for the most part, man, Joe the Boss was like, "Hey, look, Ninja, no, I ain't doing that. I'm living my life. I got off Monday that shit. He was a lifer too. I'm not, man, fuck that. So I get it. I respect him. I had spoken to a few more, man. Matter of fact, man. And one was, straddling the fence. A couple of them were straddling the fence actually, and they got to the point, okay, hey, I'm not gonna keep chasing that. It's a ghost. I'm not gonna keep chasing it, man. But anyway, that's what it was, man. What's up, Mr. Hurd? Homie, you already know how we do, homie. Can't stop, won't stop. I see you though, homie. I don't know if I'm gonna do this for a little while longer, man. I might stop back through, man. Was hanging out today looking for you. You didn't show up. I figured you was getting your, putting them hours in. So if I see you, I see you hang out right quick. If not, man, I'll catch you on the next one, bro. I love you. Kimberly Mitchell, what your message was retracted. Come on in here, woman. How you doing, home queen? Just click and say that's real, man. That's not our get down. Where you go? Just click on. He said that's real. Just click and said that's real. That's not our get down from the groove. He also said it's self-destruction at its finest. It's not our get down. So again, I agree. I agree with a whole lot. And this is why you guys, when we come on to get down, I mean, it should be a fact by now that we don't discuss nothing that shouldn't be discussed. Just straight up. If you're on the show, I'm, hey man, what was it like growing up? And we get to the part when they became a Hoover, and that's it. You don't hear no more. The Free Brothers, okay, I went to the joint. I was in the joint with Woo Woo Woo. But other than that, we're not discussing no Hoover business, man, about nothing. Growing up, as kids and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's something that it is what it is. It is what it is. That's how we grew up, But you can never look forward to seeing me on here again with messy shit, Hoover business, in-house, any of that shit, man. It won't happen. Not here. Not here. Yeah. So anyway, Kimberly Mitchell say, Hoover, hey man, touchdown with my Hoover fam. Just getting back from making my hooves. God bless the homegirl and her family. Real spit though, Kimberly. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna miss Stacy, man. We're gonna miss her, man. That was a nice turnout too. Celebration of life. Everybody was deep. Was deep. Was deep. So, she was loved. And I'm knowing she's gonna be missed. And our condolences out to you again, Michelle. We love you. C. Shan. Good evening, brother. All right, C. Shan. Good evening, brother. How you doing, man? All right. Akeem, what's up, man? Like, subscribe, and share this live. Peace to the guys, brother. Peace to the guys. Hey, man, I was chopping it up with the brother, man, out of Watts. Akeem, what's his name? Bobby Ye? Yeah, I think it's Bobby Ye, man. That's an intelligent brother, man. I like his flow. I like his get down, man. And I hope to link up with him soon. We talked for shit like 2 hours, probably more than 2 hours. And I appreciate for that. I appreciate that link, Akeem. I appreciate for you hooking us up, brother. Without you, man, I wouldn't have knew the brother existed. You know what I'm saying? Or had the knowledge and understanding he got. I wouldn't have known he pushed in the way he pushed. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, man. And that's just what I learned about the brother on the surface, people. For those who know, I don't know the brother personally. I told him, man, one thing is for sure. If we hang out, we got to break bread, man. I need to see you as an individual, so we chop it up, man. So you can see me as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Learn something about each other, whatever the case may be. See if we can work on some shit together. That's the desire, the hope. See if we can work on some things together. But yeah, I enjoyed the conversation with the brother as well. Little Frog from IF, man, he was in the conversation too, man. And again, man, to our brothers, man, let's not fall victim to this get down, bro. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, man. I'm telling you, it's really not worth it, man. We got more common ground. We got more in common than we think, than we, are willing to acknowledge, man, and just realize, a whole lot. But we got people, man, willing to keep that wedge between us, man, so that we don't come to the know of ourselves, man, in terms of how we can do better with each other, man, as opposed to against one another, as opposed to being against one another. So just think about that. Yeah. Kimberly says, yes, sir, 107 push-ups now. Oh, my arms. I'd rather have good health than money. Tell the truth, man. Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth, 107 push-ups, girl. I try to get them in, man. I'm telling you, I didn't start it back. I'm sore now. Oh my God, the push-ups. Try getting up 5 a.m. and knocking out. You got to knock out, whatever set number you got. Let's just say it's more than 250. In a matter of, you got to do this like 20 minutes. Get this shit out the way right quick because you got other shit to do. Try that, man. Oh my God. Kenny Harris said, Bub, I'm 60 years old. I just want the groove to show that I had a good time growing up in our community. People need to know we good people. I'm telling you, man. If you listen, if you listen to the G's has been on the get down, man, and in fact, man, you don't even got to listen to our loved ones, our G's. There are other G's from all over, man, and they speak highly of the love and respect, the camaraderie that Hoover has and gave to others, man. Like I say, we have our faults. We all do. you know. But they're brothers from everywhere, man. Go in on any cat got something to say about the set, man, and they know better. What some of Hoovers ain't no good, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hoovers is good. Like I say, man, we're commodity, man. We're a resource. You know what I mean? We're a whole lot of shit, man. We're a whole lot of things, man. But there are brothers that could speak for us. We ain't got to say nothing, man. We really don't have to say nothing. You know, might be the best thing, man. In some respects, in some respects. But I know for a fact, me growing up, I know a whole lot of good people out of our community. I mean, a whole lot from one end to the other. I mean, good brothers and sisters, you know, good brothers and sisters. So, I'm not affected by what somebody say. And we know Adam 12 haters. We know other people haters. But you know what? Most of them don't even know why they hate us. Because they hate us, that don't mean we not good people. You know, I think, like we know we are good people. So they do what they do, man. Kenny Harris, you 60. Damn, boy, you up there with me, man. I wouldn't have thought I'd live this long, but shit, I'm glad I'm here. I ain't gonna lie. Anthony Tibbs, I'm from Oklahoma, and we don't condone that mockery and belittle another H either. I mean, um, it's just a certain respect you're supposed to have, not just for your community, man. Where you hail from or whatever, but for yourself. For yourself, you want to respect yourself to such an extent where come on, man. I'm not gonna show my ass like that, man. I'm not even gonna show my ass like that, man. I don't care man. You can't give me $1,800 act of fool. You just can't do it. In fact, you can't give me nothing act of fool. You know, the homie came on here, man. Who said, man, we lacking ethics, man. We lacking that. Well, I don't think we lack them. We aren't exercising them. When we have them, just brothers aren't exercising. They rather, be non-ethical. You know, you know, not disciplined, not principled. Not have any standards. All that shit matter. And you saying cats get on there. I don't know, man. Um, I don't know, man. I don't agree with it. That's what I do know. I'm with you on that. Just click and said capital H. So we wide. So excuse me, the capital H. So wide you can't get around it. So low you can't get under it. And so high you can't get over it. You can't get over. Can't get over it. Real speak, you can't get over this, man. You can't get over it. And I think that has a double meaning. You know what I mean? You can't get over it, man. Can't get over it. Shit. Mr. Kevin, a little Zoe Reed. What's happening, homie? Salute to you too, homie. And the entire community. Unity, big bubs. All right. And what's happening though, loved one? How you doing, Zoe? I hope you're good, man. Hope you're good, man. Taking care of yourself, taking care of those around you. That's the message. Chichia, shout out from Fort Worth, Texas. What's happening? Shout out back to you from LA, bro. Chichia, all right. All right, man. Come on back next time, man. Like and subscribe, man. Share this live as well, brother. I think this says Trust TV. Get some OGs from the early 70s. Will you interview OGs from different sets? Absolutely. Damn, man. Y'all being, man, y'all, you're not picking my brain, but you're in my thoughts. I just got off the phone with Rockhead from Compton. And he's like, man, what's happening, bud? I said, Rockhead, man, I just a lot on my plate right now. I mean, he said, yeah, I know what's going on, boom. But he said, yeah, man. I said, man, you ready? He said, yeah, I'm ready. So Rockhead is one. I got heads, man. And they just been in the cut. It's just a lot going on, but I'm gonna bring them from other sets other than Hoover, man. Real spit from other sets other than Hoover. And y'all be surprised, man, some of these brothers, where some of these brothers are from. Good brothers too. Good brothers. I can speak just as highly of them and where they from as they could speak highly of us and where we from. You know what I mean? And these is brothers, you say OG cats, man, G's that fucked with G's that got, ran with G's that, they know the script. Real solid dudes. And in fact, at a few damos, just so you know. Wild Bunch, what's happening, man? Let him do Hoover, man. What's happening with you, Wild Bunch? Wild Bunch said, Bub, do you know of OG Pool Stick from Sam Fowler? I swear to God, that name's familiar. OG Pool Stick, yeah. Excuse me. Damn. You heard that name in a minute. OG Pool Stick, damn. Hey, man, I just ran into OG, man, because you asked me about them, about Pool Stick. I just ran into Earthy, man. I just ran into the G homie, man. I ain't seen this brother since the 80s. Shit. Earthy. What? I seen her last time I seen Earthy. 86. Right before I went back to prison. 86, man. Man. Good brother, man. I mean, we all, like I said, we all got our flaws, man. We all have our flaws, man. A lot of these G dudes, they got flaws too. Ain't nobody perfect, man. But when it come to me, remembering and reminiscing about certain brothers, man, there's certain brothers that I won't forget. Just because, what I'm saying, I have a history with them. So yeah. Tris TV said, did you run into any Watergates or IVCs? Yeah, I knew Watergates in the joint and IVCs. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like I said, my brother was super cool with a lot of IVCs too back in the day. And this was like 1980, early 80s. I come home from camp and my mom was living in Inglewood. And at this time, now by this time, I'm coming into mine because I've been a foot soldier the whole time, learning this shit, whatever. I ain't done a stint in camp now, you say, man, didn't have my squad and, boom, boom, boom. So, I thought I was, a badass crip, but come to find out, me and my brother, he was more known than me, well, in the city of Inglewood, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, all these dudes, man, how the fuck all these cats, man? What's going on, And they love my brother, man. My brother Mac knew, and I'm pretty sure Watergates as well. Like I say, my introduction, my meeting, IBCs and Watergates was through the system. That's when I first met him. Through the system. When I came home in Inglewood, I ran into a few. Bro introduced me to a few. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. And I've always respect and had a respect and love for the IBCs, man. I always thought they was all right. So one of them things, man. Top cat, man. He say he love the vibes, man. Love the fact that you in the comments in the chat, bro. Appreciate that. He says, I'm still on top of that. What we talked about. Oh yeah. Hey, homie. Appreciate that. All right, because I'm on it too, bro. I'm trying to work from this end as well, bro. I would love to get that, especially by Lil Rosama, especially him. All right. But other than that, man, I'm like you, man, trying to stay on top of this thing, man, and trying to push this, not this narrative, homie, but this positivity, homie. Trying to push this positivity, man. It's gonna work out. It's gonna do what it's supposed to do, bro. Pretty sure of that. Yeah. I can't. That was Popeye from IFG. Yeah, I told him that. Yeah, like I said, man, we had a long conversation, man. Us four. We talked for hours, man. You know, and like I said, I was enlightened, man. You know, I'd never met them brothers before. You know what I'm saying? So it was, you know, it was insightful. It was insightful just to be on the line with these brothers, man, and chop it up, kind of understand that, you know, brothers, in a lot of respects, man, we all have the same goals. We all have the same goals, and whether or not a lot of us want to admit it or not, one of our main goals, man, is to see peace amongst us. You know, live in harmony and unity, man. I think that's the goal. Because without that goal being accomplished first, you ain't gonna accomplish nothing else, man. Not together, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing else together, man. But you got to get that first, man, in order for other things to work out. So yeah, I appreciate that conversation, Akeem. He says, I can say that different groups can deal with each other in various ways, ranging from tolerant and cooperative to intolerant and conflictual. For us as a people, we have an opportunity to build or destroy. That's true. We got a choice, man. We're gonna build or we're gonna destroy. And you know, I admit I'm one of the first to admit, or I'm one of many who has admitted that we destroyed a whole lot of shit. You know, and I don't think it's too late to rebuild or build, and that's what I'm attempting to do. You know, I can only speak for me. I'm trying to build some shit back up, man. You know, starting from scratch. And you know, like I said, man, the easiest thing to do, man, is fuck something up. That's I'm telling you, man, that's simple. The hardest thing to do is to build something, man. Because that shit's gonna take dedication, man, a lot of effort, man. You're gonna need a whole lot, man, to put to that. But to tear something down, all you gotta do is have this frame of mind, like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna fuck this up. And you're gonna fuck it up. But to build something, take effort. Take effort, man. It's gonna take a whole lot of work. Whole lot of work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Top Cat say trade the show to build love from all the set. All right, I'm trying to understand what you said, bro. Don't trip. I'll get to it though. Um, C. Shan asks, did John Singleton grow up in Hoover on the Hoover set? Yeah, he did. And the Salos knew him better than most of us. You know what I mean? He loved the Salos, homie. You know, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. And damn, see, it wouldn't it be something if he was here today? You know, ain't no telling, man, what type of springboard we had, man. You know, to get some good shit out there, man, in the community, man. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling, man. But it's coming. It's coming. We got more John Singletons and shit. We got a young brother, man, about to graduate from film school now, man. Doing good for himself. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. It's what we do. California Love say insane and Hoover all day, 3 times. Hussein, man. Then my loved one. What's up with it, RD? Tanner? Y'all know good, man. Wild Bunch, let them do see Bub. What set you hung in the most other than your own? Whoa. See, now that's a good one. Man, I was just kicking with the homegirl T Baby and Kim the other day. I used to hang down in the 50s, man, like nobody business, man. And this was like in the 80s, 85, man. Man, that was like, that was home, you know what I mean? That was home for us, man. I used to hang with the homie Booby, rest in peace from Levin Deuce, man. That's my dog too, homie. Um, shit, I didn't hung a little bit somewhere everywhere, man, tell you the truth. Five Nines, just hanging down there with them. Shit, man. The trades, of course. Of course, the trade, trade 4, we won. So I was always down there as well, But I've been up and down Hoover, man. I've been up and down Hoover, man, especially in our generation, up and down Hoover, homie. Yeah, that's what it was. You shit, if we wasn't going hanging out with the Salos come hanging with us. If we wasn't with 5 9 would, that's just what we did. You know, that's what, again, man, that's what made, that's why we're different. You know, you know, we're a real community. We're a real family, homie. We got, and I'm not saying most sets aren't. But what we understand, what we know to be a fact is we blood. We got blood in this shit, man. I mean, really, for real, for real. But I've hung, man, from the 50s to the 100s, homie. The gun and hundreds, homie. I've been down, lay low, say low, man. Man, I nine deuces, nine fold. Clayboy was my boy. Rest in peace, man. So yeah, homie. I didn't hung up and down Hoover like it was nobody business, homie. You know, this is what it was. Real shit. Akeem say different groups can tell. Okay, we already read that. I'll read it again though. Akeem say different groups can deal with each other in various ways, ranging from tolerant and cooperative to intolerant and conflictual. For us as a people, we have opportunity to build or destroy. And we had that discussion again, man. It should be about building. Our community is decimated, man. It's decimated. I heard somebody saying, "Oh shit," it was on one of these, platforms. But the gist of it was, man, we ain't got shit. Oh, I think that was Compton Rick Rock. This was the other day. I think this was the other day. I was watching that. I think he was doing a reaction on uh the boys 607 and the other cat. And he was saying basically, man, yeah, you doing his reaction, but you got to give him credit for because he's doing the reaction and yet he's saying, hey man, this is what the problem is. You know what I mean? This is what the problem is, man. We sitting up tripping on bullshit with each other and against each other, but we don't got shit. We don't own shit, you know? And I appreciate hearing that from him. So, give him his medals for that, man, for sure. Mr. Kevin Lozo, what's up, Lozo? Well, yeah, groovy like the movie, homie, right? With the popcorn, homie. Asante, homie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Baby bro say, well, all right, what's going to be a good? That's going to be a good one. Yeah, homie. Like I said, um, hey man, this thing is something else, homie, and y'all don't even know, man. Not just the but the positivity that flow through me concerning this get down, and I'm telling you, it does it in such a way, especially when I'm talking to loved ones, and you ain't got to be from Hoover for me to talk to you about the platform because, like I said, there do exist other platforms here in the studio. Y'all just ain't got to borrow them yet, but hey man, it's gonna be good all the way around. We're gonna have brothers here, man, not under this umbrella right here, but a different umbrella, man, where brothers come in, man, and chop it up, man. Again, in all respect, in all due respect and positivity, man. It's gonna be some good shit. It's gonna be some good shit all the way around, man. So you brothers get ready for that, man. Akeem say much love to Rockhead, solid Compton. Yeah, for sure, homie. For sure, for sure. Wild Bunch say, oh man, Earthy the big homie, solid homie. Yeah, Earthy, man. Earthy seen me the other day, man, just start grinning like, God damn, boy, your little black ass, man. I was like, damn, Earthy. We just chopped it up, man. Good 30 minutes, man. You know, real shit, man. We got good people, homie. And like I say, man, not just Hoover, but we all do. Every community got good people. And I'm pretty sure, if they want to talk about them, they can you know, applaud these brothers and sisters, man, because they know they was good people. You know what I mean? You got to be good people, be good people, you know? Real shit. Top Cat said, Bub, you have a lot of respect because you show real love and respect, homie. It's not a funny thing. I was talking to my wife earlier. Uh, like I said, man, we grew up poor. We weren't born into poverty. You know what I'm saying? It happened as a result of circumstances and shit that took place between moms and my stepdad. And that it went downhill from there, but so we grew up in poverty. But there was one thing mom didn't allow, disrespect. You know what I mean? Um, she didn't allow that shit, to fuck you up real quick. Well, fuck me up real quick because I always trying to test the boundaries. My other brothers, they ain't get ass whoopings. I guess mom Mexican was too light. She hit on him, be bruised, she'd be in jail or something. So parent abuse or something. But she taught us the ins and outs, just certain decorum, certain respect, certain, you know, um standards. how to carry ourselves and stuff. To this day, I open the door for women. It's just minor shit. And I watch, I'm an observant person, so I watch a lot of brothers and they get out. It's lacking. They don't do that. They don't give the sisters they respect. When they see elders, it's not a respect there. It's like they don't understand that they came first, and there should always be a certain respect. And so I live with that. I could be mad as fuck at you. You know what I mean? But I'm still be respectful. If I got to get with you, I'm still be respectful. You know what I mean? But it's always been yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know what I mean? Let me get that door for you. Let me do. She dropped something. Let me hear him. My back could be stiff as fuck. I could be hurting. Sciatica could be in full effect. Man, here and grab that shit. Boom, here you go, man. Won't. But I think that's all about respect. It's all about ethics. It's all about how we grew up. And like I say, because we grew up poor, didn't mean that we had to have poor, manners. You know what I mean? So that's something that's always been with me. Like I said, I can be mad as fuck at you, but I'm always be respectful. Even when it come time, I'm trying to be respectful. But yeah, it's just what it is, bro. That's what it is, bro. Um, yeah. So and I see this still. Like I see it absent in a lot of brothers, but I see its existence in others. You know what I mean? You know, you know, being men is it's not dead. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. On the double. Excuse me. Can we get a good camp story? Ah, I give you one. I had a fight with like 3 counselors one night. Young dude, man. Uh, Counselor, man. I ain't never forgot their names either, man. That's some crazy shit. I ain't never forgot their names, man. White boy and 2 brothers, man. Uh, uh, Bernhardt was the white counselor's name. Pickney was the brother's name, and Stewart was the other brother's name. Me and this essay was talking. It's Cat Rocky, and lights out. Shut the fuck up. That's what they said, so they can sit up there, and read their books, jack off in the booth or something. I don't know. So me and the essay talking. We just chop it up, man. The essay's name was Mousy. He was from Sanford. SF. He was from Sanford. And I used to tell him, man, yeah, man, just 7-4, you know what I mean? But he's a cool little dude, little essay dude named Mouse. And we talking and shit one night, but we whispering. We ain't loud and shit because we don't like that on. The white boy come up and kicked my bed. I mean, literally kicked it. Them beds, they move. They not, welded and bolted down to the floor, you know what I mean? Kick my bed, man. I'm like, stupid ass cracker, what the, on? I was raised in a Panther household, so I, boom. He said, what you said, you stupid cracker? That motherfucker literally jumped in the bed and had me by the neck. I just, bing, bing, got him off me, right? So I'm fighting the white boy in the aisle. Next thing I know, I see the brother coming because it came through the back door. I'm like, man, so I'm thinking, but I thought the brother was cool, young cat, and I'm black. I'm thinking that brother ain't just gonna let this grown ass man try to, that motherfucker came up and bombed on me. Bang! Damn, dropped me. But I was like, shit, I'm hyped up, man. That motherfucker had me taking Thorazine. I bullshit not. They used to give us all Thorazine, crush it up. Ask homie Tank. Tank himself. Oh, we up in that motherfucker. They got us taking Thorazine. They had me taking it twice a day with some orange juice. They had some bitter shit. Anyway, this motherfucker brother sucked the fuck out of me, man. And I hit they had them polished floors, so I kind of slid back. But I slid back far enough to where I could get my shit together and get up. And so now they rush, so we fight. We fighting, man. I just drove them all the way back to the back door. Next time I know somebody grabbed me from the back, man, I swear to God, my eyes didn't pop. They motherfucker finna break my neck, man. Finna break my neck, choke me out. Choke me all the way out, man. When I came to, I was in the motherfucking hole because Rocky got a hole. Got a hole over there. So I come to, I'm in a hole, man. I'm like, shit. I was already in my boxers and t-shirts and shit. So I'm in a hole, man. Ain't no mattress or nothing. So they come to the door. Yeah, motherfucker, let me out beat your ass. Motherfucker busted up. Motherfucker put hands on me, you know. But that fight, I'll never forget that because I was fighting three grown ass men. I'll never forget their names, man. Stewart, Pinkert, and Bernhardt, man. I'll never forget them bastards. Never forget them bastards. I used to tell myself, man, if I ever run in one of them motherfuckers, beat that motherfucker. I never ran into him. Yeah, but that to me was some real traumatic shit, bro. Three grown ass men jumping on me in camp. Yeah, I ain't never forgot that one. Man. Essay, who's been Hoover's closest allies from its inception, and would you consider having any OG Bloods on your platform? Also, House TS. Um, Gangsters, man. You know, A-Tray Gangsters, man. Me growing up, from what I know, A-Tray Gangsters, Insanes, Paybacks, man, Shotguns. You know what I mean? And there are others, man, but for real, just who we click with, like, like that. It was them, man. The 9-9 Mafias was our dudes too after they were once up and running, you know. But yeah, man, the gangsters, man, the shotguns, the paybacks, and insanes, man, for sure. For sure. And if I left anybody else, if out and y'all know we tight, man, y'all know we tight, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily go without saying, but we know what it is. But off the rip, that's them four for sure. Them four for sure. We was cool with the Do Rocks, the Trey 5 7s. You know what I mean? Relationships, man. Relationships and bonds with dudes, man. Yeah. Schoolgoers was our motherfuckers. Cool with motherfuckers, man. Straight up. And yeah, like I said, I talk to Don Moves, man, all the time. Straight up. I do. I've said before and I'll say it again. How can we be talking about unity and we still being divisive? You know, uh, we get a lot of brothers talking about, hey man, Crips got to come together, man. What about the Bloods? You can't have unity, man. If you're gonna exclude other brothers, straight up, man. And not only that, but we got Bloods, our brothers, just as much as Crips are. Real shit. My little brother was a Blood, and all his homeboys, I fucked with him. That was my dog. Man, I go to war with them cats, man. I would look out for them, take care of them, treat them like my own homeboys. Back then, come on up in the spot, man. Come on, man. Y'all get off streets, man. Come on. Up there in the spot with the bays, chilling. It's a fact. So yeah, man. Yeah, I will. Not I would, but I will. There will be Bloods on the show. Bloods are welcome to come on the platform again, but it won't be under this banner. And that's just out of respect for them as much as for us. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's a platform for it now. So yeah, they'll be here. And it's a nice name too for them. For everybody that's coming. It's a nice name. I'm gonna keep that under wraps until it's time. But as far as TS go, man, TS is all right, man. I just talked to him today, man. He's good. He's good, man. I think, man, when it comes to especially a lot of our older brothers, man, our elders, our G's, man, we had to take into account something, man. And I think we look past this, we overlook this fact, man. Them brothers been traumatized, I'm telling you, the majority of them done serious time and been through shit that you don't go through nowadays in the prison system. Ain't no man, the COs nowadays, homie, nah, they ain't shit. You can have a goon squad of COs, man, and they all fat or super skinny. Punk motherfuckers. Ripped, soft. Back then, when them dudes was coming up, shit, ask them. Them motherfuckers was corn-fed motherfuckers, 6'5", 6, and was with the business. That just made brothers stronger and shit. But brothers, man, older brothers, man, they've been through a lot. A lot of them is PTSD, man. Post traumatic stress, man. They got that shit is real. That shit real, y'all. I bullshit you not, man. So these brothers, they go through shit and they trying to still cope with all that time in there. They out here now. And they out here, man, when see out in there is more structure. You know what I mean? And there's more structure. Out here, man, it's like a free fall. And these brothers, man, these G's, they're not used to that. They not used to that, man. They not used to, a non-structured environment and shit, you know what I mean? Even amongst their peers, their loved ones, they set, they hood or whatever. That shit is culture shock to them, and these dudes struggle every day, man. They struggle with just dealing with learning or trying to figure out how to deal with this shit out here without losing it, you know. And I'm saying this about TS specifically. That ain't what I'm doing. So don't nobody misconstrue what I'm saying, man. I'm just speaking in general. A lot of our G's from all over. A lot of these brothers done been through some shit, man. The shit that go on today, this ain't nothing, homie. This ain't nothing, homie. Trust me. Today anybody can be bad and not be tested. Talk a gang of shit, fight all kind of motherfuckers that's beneath them, shouldn't be fighting. Them dudes didn't do that, man. Nah. Back then when them dudes was huffing and puffing like they was some big bad mugs, man, them dudes was prove it. When all that yin yang, that jaw jacking. Nah. Them times were different, man. Police was different. Police kill your ass in broad daylight. This shit they doing that shoot motherfucker right now, man. Motherfucker run up on you, put you in the car, beat the dog shit out of you, drop you off, man, hope you get another ass whooping, shoot you in the car, whatever. Shit. They dealt with a lot of shit, man. They dealt with a lot of shit, So, I respect them. I respect them. Even when, I just respect them, homie, because I know they've been through a lot of shit, you know. So yeah, there they go. Akeem says sabotage is the act. Hold on, brother. Get that up there. Let me get that right there. Hold on. He says sabotage is the act of deliberately damaging or obstructing something, whether it's a physical object, a process, or a person's efforts. It can involve destroying property, hindering operations, so forth and so on. Snipe, what's happening, homie? Why? What's up with the Snipe? Al Thomas said, peace, big bub. Peace to the chat, man. Peace to you, Al, man. Like I say, man, it's always a pleasure to have you come and get down, man, and chat with us, man. All the time, bro. All the time. Wild bunch of action, wild bunch of lemon Hoover said, Bub, you didn't hang with Faux Trey Hoovers back then, and why you think they said left overnight? All right, listen, but the Faux Trays that I knew were my age, we was all in the joint, you know what I'm saying, in jail together. And then like a lot of G Faux Trays was in prison too, homie. So as far as on the street, no, but they existed. Bean was down there, man. Matter of fact, we go down there now and then to hang out. This was back in the 80s. You know what I mean? But and they would come down on the set and shit, you know what I mean? But I wasn't super tight with, on the street with any of them like that, you know what I'm saying? But been down there. I didn't mean to leave them out, you know what I'm saying? When Bean was out, Bean had, the range, he had the keys to that shit, man, and he kept it tight. So yeah, we all hung out like that. I think, man, I can't speak to why, Faux Trade, you know what I'm saying, is not functional, you know what I mean, as it once was, like it used to be. It could have been, as a result of Bean's demise or whatever. I can't really say, man, but, it is what it is, It is what it is. So King Groove 713 say love for your brothers and sisters and respect for our elders is mandatory. It's mandatory, Groove, on verbs. Real shit, homie. Solar tribalism. Good to see you back, man. Appreciate that, brother or sister, whichever one. Good to see you back, man. But he said, Big Bub, salute. Ben knows. Be knows. All right, man. William Bloom. He asked about Lil Tank. What about him? You know, Al Thomas. Now give us a Hoover Elite story. uh, don't too many don't too many homies know about the Hoover Elites, homie. All right, but yeah, it was a click. Al Thomas asked now. Al Thomas said, "Now give us a Hoover Elite story." Um, the Hoover Elite. Okay, so I was in a joint with one of the G homies and shit, and we just strategizing this shit because I was about to go home, and they was telling me, these G's was saying, "Don't bring your ass back up in here, man. You come back here, we're gonna fuck you up." Straight up, get out there, man. Get shit together, man. Get your money, man. Da da. I'm like, man, shit, I'm gonna go, shit's going on, man. Like, man, look, this is what you do, man. Start this organization, a click. That's what he said, start a click, man. I was like, yeah, man, thought about it. And we talked about it for a few days and came up with Hoover Elite, the Hoover Elite, And so I got out, what I'm saying, I got on my feet, shit was groovy, you know. Had shit, if you know about the Hoover Elite, to get down, motherfuckers all right. And shit, so had a crew, Hoover Elite, and we shit, homie. We doing our thing, homie. Just doing our thing. But that was short lived because again, I got out there and lost focus. That's when I caught my case. But the Hoover Elite could have actually, took us places. We could have, we could have did a lot of different shit. We could have, did a lot of constructive shit, man, with the Hooves and shit. But I just couldn't leave, game banging alone. You know what I mean? I couldn't leave game banging alone, man. That was the problem. Yeah. Who sniped 5'9" saying I seen two of the counselors on the street, and that ninja Snoop was scared too. The ninja Snoop was scared too, and I recognized him. He told ICE, "Yo, little homie tripping about my job." Okay, I'm gonna read that again. Who sniped, man? He said I seen two of the counselors on the street, and that ninja Snoop was scared. Was scared too. When I recognized him, he told ICE, "Your little homie tripping about my job." Yeah. I think I get you, homie. Oh shit. The kitchens. Real shit, homie. Kitchens. My bad, loved ones. Mo, BJ, my bad, bro. Ain't gonna never forget y'all like that, man. Shit. The kitchens, man. 83716. Bub, I told YTB to get off that net. Yeah, bro. Okay. To get off that net with this groove shit. And he tried to get at me like I wasn't nothing. All right, you said the same thing to him, and he was right. And he was right in some. All right, you right, big homie. You right on the type shit. Okay, what you think? Okay, listen, homie. Just like I said, homie, just it is what it is, And we like let's get one thing straight right quick. I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna address that and be boom through with it. We're not gonna hash that out right here, all right? But I'm gonna answer you, and I'm gonna answer you like this, homie. Just let's knock it off. That's it. Just not on here. That ain't for this, homie. Just out of respect for the ones that ain't. Come on, homie. Nah, homie. Don't do that. Don't be a party to it. There's other ways of dealing with your issues and your differences, and it ain't never got to be all that other serious shit either. But this ain't the place for that. All right. That's all I want to impart to you, brothers, both of y'all, and they go for any homie. Tell you the truth, homie. This ain't it, homie. I want to impart that. And then the fact that for who's going on these podcasts, homie, and all this shit with these people, don't give a damn about us. They're looking for some angle, some narrative to twist. Ain't for us, homie. Nah. But anyway, To finish off his statement, he said the LA Grooves treating out of town grooves like that. Okay, I got my connection to the Hoovers through the Trey 57s. Can we talk about that? Um, Again, homie, when we talking about the homies that come from out of state, comes in, it's yeah, it's politics to some extent, but um, it's just a matter of just hey man, you just know what you're stepping into, homie. Don't come out here just sideways and stuff. You know what I mean? Don't do that, homie. And if your shit ain't correct in terms of what it is out here in the Mecca, then just let's be 100. Don't come out here because somebody gonna say something to you about it. It's gonna be spoken on. Now if you can't handle what's gonna be said, then don't come out here. You know what I mean? Because it's the Mecca. And I'm gonna leave it at that, bro. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I think the homies here want the homies out there to know y'all part of the community, y'all family. You know, you get certain cats get on these things, man. They start talking, man, and when they talk, you listen to them. They don't even know what they talking about. They don't even know what they talking about, man. Then they just like just like the peach talking to the tree, homie. You get that metaphor? The peach talking to the tree, homie. The peach gonna tell the fucking tree what it is. Come on, homie. Knock that shit off, man. Don't do that. You know. But again, it's just a matter of homies. Homies can't communicate with each other through all these things, man. Homie come and break bread, man. Chop it up, man. That's what they do. Ain't nothing to that. Ain't nothing to that. Man, I'm finna go to the land, man. Hang out with the homies, man. Homie, I'm on my way, man. Can I come hang out, man? Take me over to woo, 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 woo. Let's go get a bite to eat. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Come on, homie. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. That way, homie can impart you, knowledge about how to, make it through this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Without getting twisted into pretzels and shit, man. Make it look like a damn fool or bust or anything else. I don't know. You know? You know. So yeah, homie, that's how we should deal with that. Again, man, our community is big, homie. And in any big family, man, you always have discrepancies, you have arguments and disagreements. But the thing about family is that, man, what makes a family is the ability, man, to communicate, man, work their way through problems and situations, man, that could be, just offsetting to the family, could create this imbalance. You know what I mean? But communication is the key. That's it. That's all. And I think that's what needs to be exercised here. Communication. That's it. You know. Cadillac Bobby. Rural history, yeah. Cadillac Bob, man. Wild Bunch, let him do Hoover, okay. See, so he asked me, did you know Big Joker, a little crazy D Matrix Gangsta heard their name ring bells back there? Yeah, homie. And Joker just out recently, I think in the last year, Joker got out. Um, me and Joker was in the county in, I think it was 83, 84 when he caught that case. That's my dog, you know what I mean? I know Joker, I hadn't seen him since then. I see he out and everything, doing what he doing, man. It's constructive shit, man. And more power to him. But yeah, I knew Joker for sure, man. Little Crazy D, man. I know Crazy D. That's the homie, man, for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cisco SZR say, yo, I wish Texas Hoovers would talk to you instead of the others at this point. This is the real deal channel. Much respect. Hey, I appreciate that comment, bro, Cisco. Look, man, and I've said it, man. Look, man. I was talking to some homegirls the other day. I was talking to Mag Sims the other day, and we were talking about the podcast, and she along with some other sisters, what I'm saying, they said, man, we like your get down, how because you're not with no funny shit, I said, man, there's no other way it should be, you know what I mean? Should never be no funny shit. I'm saying that to say, You know, for any, this is a platform for us to come and discuss, you know, politics to some extent, unity, community, you know what I mean? Even, your childhood, what you remember growing up, all that stuff. And then most important, man, who you are today, man, what you represent, and how you go about doing this on the daily. So that's what I want to impart to them brothers out there. They're more than welcome, more than welcome to come on and get down, man, and sit down with me, man. I had brothers from out of state on here, man, from Hoover. You know what I mean? We had a nice conversation with them. You know what I mean? Nothing salacious, nothing fallacious. You know what I'm saying? Just a general conversation. But them brothers, they need to know they more than welcome. You know, they more than welcome. Come on, man. And I think that's needed. I need it. Come on and get out, man. And I guarantee you one thing: you come over here with me, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing, homie. You know. And I'm not trying to come up and I'm super bad, motherfucker. No, and nothing gonna nah, homie. You and me, homie. And I think that's an issue of respect. You know what I mean? So that ain't nothing. That brother 6 or 7 up. That nah, homie. That shit ain't right. Just looking at that shit, I look at this shit, get pissed off. Like, what the fuck is this? That brother need to know that would have never happened. Not here. That would have never happened, man. But any brothers, not just Texas, man, but brothers. And I've been talking to brothers and they want to come on the platform. They like the job, they like to get on the vibe of the platform. I said, man, y'all more than welcome. Under the Groove exists for Hoovers, home. To come in and share their story, man, to an extent. You know what I mean? How your growth, man, your growth, you know, your growth from right here to right here, and some of that middle stuff we're gonna leave out. But your growth, more than welcome, bro. Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Washington, Baltimore, New York, Jersey, St. Louis. More than welcome, homie. That's why this exists. You know, what you doing or what you done in the past in terms of the criminality, we not discussing that. You know, you know, we're not discussing that. That ain't gotta ever be, something that somebody gotta think about, worry about. Nah, homie. We're not gonna do it. I wouldn't let you do it. I'd stop you in your track. But they more than welcome, brother. You know what I'm saying? More than welcome, man, and come be a part of this. Get down, man. Like I say, because this is why it exists. It exists for them as well. Not just for the Mecca, not just for the loved ones here, for them too. You know. So there that is. On the double. Can we get a free Rick story on how he affected your community in a positive way? Oh, that's hard. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Because even though a lot of us was making money, we were still doing damage to those in the community, So we had cars, so we had apartments, and we had money and shit. But you know, as a result of that, what we get the community, there's no signs of that wealth in the community today. You know what I mean? There's no community center as a result of that activity. You know, there's no meat market, supermarket, liquor store. You know what I mean? There's no real estate office building there. None of that. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, what can I speak to in terms of nothing? You want honey with you, nothing. Straight up, man. I can't speak anything positive as a result of that whole episode. Nothing. You know, ain't that sad? Yeah, yeah. You know, Mr. Kevin Lizzo said, man, what's the status on GU? Great unity in the community that you and the missus, Big Drew, Magic, and et cetera, had going on. Well, yeah, that was something that, yeah, man, the wife and Droop, and them had going on. I was never a part of that. You know what I mean? That's, to my understanding now, that's defunct. That don't exist. G Unit, yeah, it don't exist at this stage at this point. You know what I mean? To my understanding, when it was up and running, I was in prison actually when that was going down. I heard they did good, man. It was a good organization. They had it going on. Now, why it stopped or the reason for it ceasing to exist, I don't know. I can't speak to that out there. That's a question I'm gonna have to ask her. You know what I'm saying? She's probably looking down and maybe she'll come and say something about it. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, it's defunct. Yeah. Hoop Snipe say all the homies is welcome. Just understand where you at. That's it. That's it. And that's just a matter of being, have your Usalamu right. You want, come on, homie. That should be no matter where the fuck you go. When I leave LA and I go to fucking Oklahoma City, I know where the fuck I'm at. I mean, my Usalamu on point. I'm not gonna go to New York. Come on, man. I'm gonna know where the fuck I'm at. My objective is to get back to where I came, survive. It ain't to punk the game, you know what I mean. But hey, man, I'm not. Come on, man. I'm not gonna go into no situation like an asshole, just not not understanding where the fuck I'm at. You know, I don't know. Yeah, Wild Bunch, man. I hear you on that one, man. OG Bolo from Lanes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's been said a few times. That's been said a few times, bro. Yeah. Yeah, man. So listen, the gist of, I think the basics of this conversation was, homies, there too issues we could discuss, we can, sign off on. Out of state homies. They are homies, they are part of our community, man. Um, this podcast exists for them as well, bro. Whenever they ready, you know what I mean? Now, if they so choose to go and hey man, sit at the feet of whoever, hey, so be it. But understand there's a consensus growing that, hey man, why would you do that? And you got this. Answer, riddle me that one. You know what I mean? But at some point, shit is changing. Like I say, they're brothers from other states, man. Hey, Bub, what's happening? I'm like, hey man, I'm ready when you ready. I'm ready when you ready. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of summertime's here. Let's see if someone want to take that trip. And like I said, man, they won't have a worry in the world, man. Treat it right because they family. You know what I mean? That's just my mouth to their ears, man. Family. You know. So, and the other thing is, like I said, you know, this buffoonery, man. This some straight buffoonery, man. And I'm hoping. I sit up, man, and I put positive thoughts in the atmosphere, man, that Hoovers don't fall victim to this shit. All y'all got to do, man, is go back in the last 3 months and look at how these sets are imploding on each other, you know? And then look at who pushing that shit. Look at who pushing that shit, man. Look who pick it up and help push it, continue to push it. We're not falling victim to that, man. You know, there won't be no internal wars with Hoovers on nobody's social media, nothing, man. Don't do that shit, man. Show some respect, man, for your community, bros. Show some respect, man. Don't do that shit. So that's all I want to say on that, man. And again, man, I don't run nothing. You know, um, I am a citizen of this community, just like the rest of y'all. I don't run shit, you know, but I love my community enough to say, hey, man, that's some bullshit, homie. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. You know, others who's saying it as well. So let's deal with it like that. All right, man. Look, I was only supposed to do an hour, and that's the thing, man. When I get on here with y'all, I just like, I just keep going, keep going, keep going. I love you guys, man. I'm tired, man. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. So yeah, I think I need to get home, man. It's my baby, man. I love you, mama. You know the business. You know, man. You know the business. Love you, man. You know, um, you brothers take care of yourselves, man, so that you can take care of each other, man. Like I say, man, you don't take care of yourself, you can't help me, man. You can't take care of me if I need you, man. You know, again, we all we got. We all we got, and actually, there's no greater commodity. There's no greater rich man wealth than us, man. We all we got, man. We are our wealth, man. You know, your brothers need to sleep on that, man. Go pick up a book. Go read a book. It don't have to be this book. Go read a book though, man. Something stimulates you, you know, your neurons, your mind, man. You know, your synapses. Get that shit popping, man. Make it work for you, man. Pick up something, man, political. Pick up something historical, man. You know, read about blackness, man. I saw some shit right quick. I'm gonna let it go. Hey, man, it was the dopest shit I've ever seen, man. And this person who sent me this shit, oh my God, man, powerful shit. Fuck, who sent me that? Hold on. I hate to do this. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure. Hey, baby Sea Dog from 60s, man. This baby Sea Dog, man. Hey, homie, I appreciate that link, homie. Hey, homie, me and my wife listened to that, man. We listened to that thing, man, 5 times, homie. 6 times. You feel me? Hey, homie, I respect that, homie. I respect you for that, homie. Um, he sent me a link, man. Man, I need to get this link up here, man, for y'all, man. Can I get this link up here? And it's just some powerful shit. And it actually deals with what we've been dealing with the last 2 months with, you know, with these issues, immigration and all this old shit. I'm gonna type this link in here. As long as it is, I'm gonna still type it in here. You know, I ain't no good typer, y'all, but I want y'all to have this, man. No. Take that off. Excuse me, y'all. Work with me. Yes. Okay, is that what that is? Nope. I know y'all looking at Bub like, man, what the fuck you doing, man? Work with me, y'all. Work with me. Let's see, is that what it is? Yep. Okay. Nothing stands that. Yep. Hold on, y'all. Okay. IGSH. H first. No, 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 no. Okay. What is that? Yep. All right. All right, that's the link. I'm sorry, y'all. It took me so long, man. I'm not good with this shit. Anyway, um, Baby Sea Dog from Rolling 60 sent me that this morning, man. And like I said, I sat up and checked that shit out, man. I was like, all right, man. Yeah, that's some of the bombest shit right there. You know, in my opinion. In my opinion. But it's geared toward, or it's in the same vein of what we always talk about, man, when it comes to us. You know, us. All right. Check that out, man. On that note, y'all, I gotta go out. Wait a minute. Let me hold on. I got a lot more, man. This came up in here, man. I can't, man. I love you, bro. Peace to the gods, all right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hoover Snipe, man, HIP to all our fallen soldiers, man, and home queens, man. We love you guys, man. We're gonna miss you. Hey, Top Cat, I will, man. I get a wife, man. Your birthday wishes. Thanks, Kimberly. I'll let her know. All right. Again, I'm pretty sure she's reading as you know as we're going along, thinking, all right, man, shut up, turn the thing off, come on, you know. But she's gonna appreciate these birthday wishes, man. It's my baby, man, and I appreciate you guys for sending your shouts out to her and birthday wishes out to her, man. Real shit, man. All right, much love to everybody, man. Like I said, man, love yourself. Take care of yourself, man. And so you could do that for me or somebody else that look like you. You know what I mean? We all we got. We are our wealth, man. There's no greater wealth on the planet Earth. Trust me. No greater wealth on planet Earth, man, than us, man. Um, peace and blessings. Hold on. Let me send that. Bam. All right. Hi. I did that shit. All right, man. Hey, peace and blessings, man. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings, man. Love one another, man. Take care of each other, man. You have been, you are, and you will be under the groove. Power in the people, man. Love you guys. See you Tuesday.